Hey, what is going on, investors? Welcome to another video. Today we are actually going to talk about Arrival. Yes, folks, Arrival stock, ticker symbol ARVL. This is one of my favorite speculative stocks. As most of you guys know, I do not invest in penny stocks because they're typically super risky. However, I started buying Arrival at about $17, $18, and it became a penny stock. So nothing I can do about that one right there. But I am still actually very bullish on this company, even though I've lost like 60% of my value in here. But as I always tell you guys, stocks like these, you only want to put a very tiny percentage of your portfolio in because they are very risky and they can take your portfolio down. So Arrival only makes up less than 5% of my portfolio. So even though I'm down huge in that stock, it did not take my entire portfolio with it. But anyway, you guys aren't here for that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So this company called Electrek made a, they're an electric vehicle publication. They basically do tours and walkthroughs of all the different electric vehicles that are companies that are up and coming. And they just recently on March 11th released their article saying that they got a sneak peek of the Arrival van ahead of U.S. production later this year. For most of you guys who know, I have more videos on Arrival than anybody on YouTube, and I always talk about everything that's going on. And we know for a fact, if you follow my channel, that they are expected to deliver between 400 to 600 vehicles this year. And yes, they expect for their van to be produced and sold this year. So let's just go ahead and get right into the article because they actually got a tour of the entire vehicle and they took pictures and it looks really cool. So let's just go ahead and get into it. A lot of this is stuff that we already know. So we're actually going to skip on it. We are going to go down to right here. Right? No, we'll just start right here. Arrival is a growing EV startup focused on clean, urban-centric mobility whose unique production strategy could very well become a new standard for sustainable and cost-effective EV manufacturing. Since being founded in 2015, the company has introduced an all-electric passenger bus, a delivery van, and a rideshare-specific car designed alongside Uber. See, this is one of the things that keeps me bullish on this company. They've got to deal with everybody. I mean, they got to deal with UPS, they got to deal with Uber, they got to deal with can't remember the other company. It's a big bus company in the UK. First Bus, I believe it's called. And then they've got like a little thing going on with Hyundai too. I mean, they just got all kinds of stuff. So it's really exciting and cool to see. Headquarters in London and Charlotte, North Carolina give Arrival a production advantage in two large markets. Although all of its R&D and design currently takes place in the UK. What may be most unique about Arrival, however, is its microfactory approach to EV production. I 100% agree with that. Let's scroll down right here. Remember, I'm just going through the article for you guys because this is actually really cool. And I'm just going to kind of give my thoughts on everything that they say. Later this year, these ultra-efficient assembly practices will be applied to both the Arrival bus and Arrival van. Although U.S. assembly of the van will begin after production in the UK, this is correct. We were able to see a beta prototype close up and get a company update from two Arrival executives. That's really cool. I know Avinash is one of the executives. You guys know who that is if you're an Arrival investor. So these are the pictures that they took. I don't know if I could do a close-up. Okay, I can't do a close-up, but you guys can see that, I'm sure. So these are the pictures. Steering wheel. Got the little screen right here. Here are more pictures of the van. Really, really cool. It looks very futuristic. It looks very clean. I like their design. I mean, I told you guys, I love their products. Like if they started selling cars, I'd try and get one. Like, I'm so serious, as long as it's not overly expensive. But, yeah, I like this a lot. This looks really cool. They're showing you everything. Here's the back of the van right here. Here's the inside of the van right there. They're just giving you all these pictures. Here's what it looks like when somebody is actually inside of the vehicle driving. If you look at it, you could tell that this van is actually very spacious. You know, you see this guy right here at the driver's side. You see somebody next to him. You know, you could probably fit somebody right here next to that person. I mean, it's a very spacious van. And they did talk about that in their earnings on how they designed it and things like that. And then here's just the side of the van right here, which does look really cool. And so let's just go ahead and keep reading. So here we go. Updates on Arrival before U.S. van production in Q4. Electrek was fortunate to take a trip out to NYC this week and see the Arrival van prototype in the U.S. before production begins overseas in Q3. Yeah, because they're not producing them in their factories in the United States yet. They're going to be producing them in the UK. So, yep, makes sense. Additionally, Seth and I were able to visit with Arrival President Avinash, yep, we know him, and CEO of Arrival North America, Mike Abelson, yep, we know him, to ask as many questions as we wanted. They are obviously quite excited that one of their first ever EVs is finally coming to fruition and spoke quite candidly with us about the company's progress, goals, and how it hopes to inspire a paradigm, blah, 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 blah. Let's keep going. Here's another view of the van. As you guys can see, that is on your right, that's actually Avinash, and then on your left is Mike. So let's keep going. Okay, this looks like this will be interesting. U.S. to see Arrival van production before year's end. As you can see from the images above, the beta prototype of the Arrival van very closely resembles many of the renderings and early images we have seen. Even close up, it looks a lot more groomed than other prototypes we've seen, especially for a beta. See, this is good because Electric actually keeps it real. Like, they don't just say things that people want to hear. They tell the honest truth. So for them to say that this is one of the better prototypes that they've seen, because they review all kinds of electric cars. So for them to say that this is one of the best, the better ones they've seen is a really good sign. Arrival's sleek, minimalist approach to design is apparent inside and outside of the van. From its monotone exterior to a simplistic driver's side, Abelson explained to us how the exterior is made up of swappable composite panels. Although he said they shouldn't need to be replaced because they are so strong, the team passed around a sample of the composite, and I felt like the guy in Napoleon Dynamite trying to break the Nupont fiber woven bowl. I couldn't do it. In addition to its strength, the composite material can be dyed to any single color, alleviating any need for special foundations or pits for painting. A large and less environmentally friendly footprint on traditional assembly lines. Entering the cabin, we were surprised to learn that the gray carpet-like interior is made from the same composite material, again adding to the simplicity, sustainability, and overall recyclability of this EV. Here we go. We previously reported Arrival's order for 10,000 vans from UPS. That order is still going through, y'all. And Abelson walked us through a lot of design elements implemented to both support and optimize a delivery driver's day-to-day. For example, the lower floor sits at an average curb height, allowing for less of a step in and out of the van, while the driver's seat has been set at a height that not only provides comfort, but less movement between standing and sitting. This is crucial as drivers will undoubtedly be switching from a sit to standing all day, every day. Yep, makes perfect sense. Arrival is working on other features such as automated doors, then more softly open and close as the driver approaches, reducing repetitive motions on a driver's arms and shoulders, while also removing some of the impact the continuous slamming of a door may have on the mechanism itself. The driver's touchscreen is large and centrally located, containing Arrival's proprietary fleet software, and will continuously gather and analyze data to support further optimizations for commercial customers. Overall, its sleek and efficient approach to an ever-growing segment of last-mile delivery vehicles that are going electric at an impressive rate. This is so cool. This is a great review, by the way, by Electric. This is a great write-up. I'm actually really happy to read this. Makes me more excited as a shareholder. Okay, what's next for Arrival? According to the North American CEO, the company is currently developing gamma prototypes of the Arrival van in the UK, and we may be able to catch a glimpse of one in the US soon. Keep an eye out for that. UPS remains a big part of the design process for its upcoming order, and Arrival will be able to manufacture its composite panels in the Parcel Services recognizable shade of brown. Yeah, we saw prototypes of that. We saw that in the earnings report. According to Abelson, pulling off UPS's unique dark silver wheels will be a task in and of itself, but Arrival is up for the challenge. Yep, Arrival is up for any challenge. They're the best. That's why we're investing in this. As you may recall, Arrival's been working on autonomous rides with its van in the UK through its RoboPilot program. The program is continuing to see progress overseas, and we could eventually see autonomous Arrival vans in the US. Here we go. During a breakfast with Mike Abelson, he told me that Arrival is exploring depot automation in the U.S., which entails autonomous vans navigating geofenced fleet depots. Since these EVs are geofenced and will not be on roads, there are far less regulations to abide by, allowing for quicker integration. The Arrival van is still on schedule to begin production in the UK in Q3 of this year, followed by US production at its Charlotte microfactory in Q4. The initial model will soon be joined by 2 larger vans as well, allowing for more platform space to implement additional battery modules too. Really, really cool. Here we go. Other Arrival updates. Most of this we already know, but let's see. Okay, let's read this. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Arrival will be making their own batteries very soon. I don't know if you guys knew that, but they're basically saying that right here. The future also includes Arrival's previously announced North Carolina facility to build its high voltage battery modules. Abelson told us that Arrival is currently sourcing 18650 lithium ion cells from LG Chem and implementing them into its unique modules. Since its microfactories are starting on such a small production scale, 10,000 EVs per year. Yeah, that's true, but they eventually want to get to 1 million EVs a year. So they eventually want to have so many microfactories up and running that they'll be able to produce 1 million electric vehicles per year, which is pretty okay. That's not bad especially for their model. Arrival is not currently worried about many of the supply chain constraints that are impeding larger OEMs. Yeah, that's true. They said that in their earnings call, their Q4 earnings call. They said that they have more than enough material and supply. So even though the supply chain has affected other EV companies like Lucid Motors, Arrival is not seeing any effects of that right now. Arrival is still going to be able to meet their goals with the materials that they have, so that's very bullish. The Arrival bus remains on track for production and will be produced at the company's Bicester. I know you guys got on me for this. I can pronounce it now. The company's Bicester facility in the UK in Q2 and its Rock Hill, South Carolina microfactory in the US. We're hoping to visit Arrival's UK headquarters to see the bus up close and do a test drive with the van. Fingers crossed. They'll probably get it. The Arrival car is currently in prototype phase and will begin testing this year. During breakfast, I confirmed with Abelson that while Uber is helping design the ride-shared EV, this is important, guys. I remember reading this. While Uber is helping design the rideshare EV, it has no exclusive rights to it. So if another rideshare company or even a regular consumer were interested, Arrival has no issue selling the car to them. There you go, guys. That's it right there. I told you guys, if they started selling their car, I would buy. I'm so serious. I mean, as long as it's affordable. I'm not buying it if it's freaking the cost of a Lucid Motors car, because that car is just way too expensive. But if it's a regular price, I would definitely buy it. And they're telling you right here, if another rideshare company or even a regular consumer were interested, Arrival has no issue selling the car to them. That is so cool. I knew they were going to do that too. I knew that was coming. I knew they weren't just going to make cars and just give it to Uber. I knew they were going to do more with that, and it makes perfect sense. As Arrival expands its U.S. presence, it's hoping to give back to its new home in Charlotte, North Carolina, and promote sustainability as much as possible. Abelson told me that Arrival is working with the city of Charlotte about the possibility of establishing courses at local colleges to educate the youth about EV manufacturing, hoping to recruit new employees to come work at its microfactories. That is amazing. This is why reading articles like this is so important. This is absolutely amazing. Additionally, we learned that Arrival strategically placed its Charlotte headquarters near the light rail line, hoping to hire locals that don't have to drive to work. Arrival's president, Avinash, told us he does not have a car and instead commutes daily by bus. That's interesting. Okay, he doesn't have a car. All right. In his words, what better way to understand what's working and what isn't working on a passenger bus than to ride it every single day? Okay, that makes sense. If that's the reason why he's doing it, then okay. That actually makes sense. Fine. Abelson spoke to me about his love for electric scooters and how he tries to commute on them whenever possible rather than drive. These practices by Mike and Avinash are a wonderful representation of how granular and holistic the company's focus on sustainability is, and it was a joy to learn so much from the entire team. Thoroughly looking forward to watching this company grow. Okay, here we go. So this is Electric's take. I think we're at the end because I'm actually kind of tired. I feel like this is a long video, but I really want you guys to kind of see the progress with Arrival. So let's go. This is Electric's take. What a cool team overall. Avinash and Mike couldn't have been more approachable and personal. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We know they're great. We know they're great people. There we go. Here we go. I found the van quite impressive, at least for a delivery vehicle, and believe it could change the landscape or at the very least, the overall look of delivery vans. This will stem from the microfactory model, which I personally believe is the Ace Up Arrival sleeve. I agree. I think their products and their microfactories is the Ace Up their sleeve. I agree. But the microfactories make so much sense because they're literally revolutionizing how people create cars, period. So that's really dope. The prospect of revamping existing facilities you don't have to necessarily own without the need for paint pits could be such a game changer. The innovation behind the color and design capabilities of the composite panels might need to be pushed a little further to satisfy customer marketing departments, but trust that Arrival is working on that in the UK. I told you guys, Electric is going to be honest, and I like that. I like that they're honest. They tell you how they really feel. Avinash told us that he's sure larger OEMs like Tesla and Rivian are watching Arrival's microfactory model closely to see if it proves viable. I absolutely agree with that. I think that Tesla and Rivian are watching as well. I think the other EV companies are watching Arrival. They're like, okay, let those guys be the guinea pig, and we're going to see if that model works. And if they do, don't be surprised if Tesla and Rivian copy that. Just don't be surprised. I personally agree with him that more abundant yet smaller production footprints could completely shift the way we produce vehicles, promoting sustainability through locally sourced raw materials, shorter supply chains, not to mention in-house components, and shorter delivery distances to customers. On top of all of that, the model allows for easier pivots in the assembly line process itself and the potential for continuous optimization. Arrival's goal is to eventually have one production cell that can produce an entire EV by itself, not just one particular model either, multiple Arrival EVs. Needless to say, we are itching to get inside a microfactory and view the process firsthand. Charlotte should be ready for visitors before year's end, so I'm going to start packing a bag. Stay tuned. All right, and there you guys have it. That is the entire article. I thought that would be a very important update for you guys. I think this article was great. I think we actually learned a lot. I definitely learned some things about the company that I didn't quite know. There was a little bit of an interview with Avinash and Mike in here, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that is the entire video. Hope you guys got something out of this. And yeah, that'll go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.